teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Open here, Adam Thielen. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
From the 36, Cousins. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And complete, right side to Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Well, officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
Let's go. 18 Gator.
58 right there. All day, just like that. Just like that.
Ready.
They'll set up a throw. That's caught by Meredith right side. A gain of 6 there on first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Gets it to Meredith complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Left side caught by Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score, Vikings 7, Bears 0. Dan Bailey sets the kickoff.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen trying to run inside, but nothing there. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain. His guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
The throw over the middle, taken in. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
It's our time. It's our time.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? And
he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd-year back from Florida State. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Okay, work with me here. Make sure I'm clear on this. When inside their own 10-yard line and they run a toss play, I know it works, but ordinarily that takes a lot of chutzpah to do something like that because only thing more dangerous is trying to throw the ball in that situation and maybe taking a big loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Room past the 20. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Come on! Ready?
Check. Box 54. Box 54. Exit.
They go play action. Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, They want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
44, Mike, 44. Defense wins championships, baby. Watch the ship. Go. Watch the ship. Kill. Sit up. Big River.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus on the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Hey, Delta.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brings up second and 8 at the 14-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Now Trubisky to throw. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Ready?
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Ready?
Third and 2. Now Trubisky. Open man there is Patterson, complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I got you. I got you.
On first down, Trubisky. Out left to Shaheen. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run on second down with Cohen, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And the Vikings.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They're going to look to throw. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
This quarterback now After the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Bears nothing. Dan
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
Trubisky's throw pulled in by Robinson. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
1st down, a run with Cohen. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Trubisky lost the football, and this belongs to the Vikings.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got his rookie tight end. That's Herb Smith Jr. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
Check 13, check 13, check 99, check 99.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to fourth down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go. At their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try to go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 18-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Play action. Now Trubisky. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 41-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
On second down, it's Cook. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down.
Watch the safety creep. Kill. Hey, Sam off. Hey, lock it. Hey, Charlie.
They'll look to throw here. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
Let's go.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Mike 54. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Play action. It's Trubisky. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own 42-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot?
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 21-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Trubisky will throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Trubisky on third and long. He's got his tight end, Burton. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Trubisky now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 35-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Double dog, that's the way.
They try again with Cohen, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
First down, here's the run with Cook. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I'm coming after you.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Come on, set, 8, read. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Get it.
Here's 2nd and 8. And complete right side to Cook. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Left side caught by Diggs. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. A little juke. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
18 Gator. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's be critical.
On first down, Cook. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And it's caught. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this. When he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit, now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. 2nd and 5. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more.
Makes the score Vikings 31, Bears nothing.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Hey, ball. Slam. Safe.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Trubisky, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
At the 19-yard line.
Set. 50, plant.
Check. Bound to lose 1. Check.
Let's go.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. The 40. Past the 20. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now that turnover might just about do it here. 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready?
58, come on.
Check.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got
Cook stripped. The ball's out. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Move. Four down. Check.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
On the double.
Go 58's the mic.
Get ready. Now.
It's complete to Diggs. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one, maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Tackle. Check.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw left side complete. That's Cohen. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
2 yards. It's 3rd and 9.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
A 2-yard gain.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Vikings, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.